Today I'm going to be making chicken Parmesan stuffed shells. This recipe is from Taste of Home. It's called Almost Homemade and it's 63 easy dinners. And this is from, it says display until November 12th, 2018. So this recipe is from 2018. So what you need is you need a package 12 ounces of jumbo pasta shells, which we have here, and we're going to be cooking those according to the directions. So basically you boil them, it tells you on the package, just follow the directions you want to cook your shells. And then you need 1 pound of boneless, skinless chicken breasts. You want to cut those into cubes. I didn't get more cubes, I got more like little pieces, but anyway, you need 1.5 teaspoons of Italian seasoning. You need salt, 1 teaspoon divided. So you need a 1/2 teaspoon of salt, 1/2 teaspoon of salt, and then you need a 1/2 teaspoon of pepper divided. So I put 1/4 and 1/4 in there. You need 1 tablespoon of olive oil, which I have here, 2 tablespoons of butter. You need 1/3 cup of seasoned breadcrumbs. So I just left this out, so I'm showing you. This is the Progresso, that's the brand I bought, and you need 1/3 cup of that. You need some different cheeses. There's 3 different cheeses in here, and I went ahead and put them in one bowl because you're going to end up mixing them all together anyway. So you need 3 cups of ricotta cheese, 1 cup of shredded mozzarella, and 1/2 cup of grated Parmesan cheese. You need 1/2 cup of 2% milk. I'm using 1 teaspoon of parsley flakes. And then you're going to need 4 cups of meatless pasta sauce. I chose the traditional Prego because that's just what we like. And I bought 2 jars. We'll see how far that takes us. And then you need 8 ounces of fresh mozzarella cheese, thinly sliced and halved. I sliced it as thin as I could, and I halved it. So you want to preheat your oven to 375 degrees, and then you want to cook your shells according to the package directions. So we are going to get those going, and we'll be right back. I have my pasta on to boil, so now we have a skillet, and I'm going to add my tablespoon of oil to the skillet. And then I'm going to put my chicken in here. And to this chicken, they have you doing this in a separate bowl, but I don't see any reason to dirty a bowl. So I'm going to take my Italian seasonings and my salt and my pepper, and I'm going to mix these together right into this pan. So this is only going to brown lightly. It's going to brown for about 2 minutes. So our chicken is cooked. We're going to turn our heat down to medium, and then we're going to add in our 2 tablespoons of butter, and we're going to just let the butter melt into the pan of chicken. Our butter is melted, so now we want to stir in our breadcrumbs. And it says to cook these, stir them in, and then cook them until they're slightly toasted. It said it would take 2 to 3 minutes. Okay, so this is nice and toasty. I can even smell the toastiness of it. So I'm going to move it back and just let it sit there and cool a little bit while we're moving on to this next part. So we have that big bowl with our 3 cheeses, and to that we're going to add our 1/2 cup of milk, and then we have our salt and pepper, and then our parsley, and we're going to mix all this together in this bowl. I'm going to add that chicken mixture into this, and we're going to stir it together. And then I have a 9 by 13 inch glass pan out, our lasagna pan. And so you're going to take one of your Pregos, and it says take 2 cups and put it in the bottom. So I did not measure this, but I've made dishes like this before, and really you just want enough to coat the bottom really well, because you're going to be sticking your shells into this. So we have our shells, and we rinse them off. And so you want to take, they're hot, you want to take 2.5 tablespoons of your ricotta mixture, and you want to put about 2.5 tablespoons per shell. And I'm using heapings. Basically, you're going to fill the shells. I got a tablespoon, just like the directions said, to work with, but I am going to basically, I'm not going to even measure. I'm going to fill each one of these shells and then put it directly in that pasta sauce. Shells here, and just so you know, I always go ahead and make all the shells because some of them tear and you're not going to always be able to use all of them, and so this is a great amount for a family though, and so you want to basically cover each one of these up. Kevin and I love red sauce, but we're going to end up using about 1.5 jars of the pasta sauce.
About 1/2 jar?
About 1/2 jar, yes. So you use about 1.5 jars, and these are 24-ounce jars of Prego. So now we're going to take our mozzarella that I did not cut very well at all, but I cut it as good as I could, and we're going to use every single bit of this, and we're going to put it on the top. And then once we've done, I'm going to try to spread it out because I don't know if it'll cover all of it. But once we do this, I'm going to get some Reynolds wrap and I'm going to cover this up, and this is going to bake at 375 for half an hour covered. And then I'm going to uncover it and I'm going to bake it an additional 10 to 15 minutes, probably 15 minutes, because Kevin and I like stuff to be brown. We just like our cheese to be really toasty and brown and bubbly, and so we'll probably do it for after 30 minutes covered. Uncover it, we'll do it for an additional 15, and then we'll be ready to give it a look. So I had this in the oven for the 30 minutes covered, and then I uncovered it for another 15 minutes, and the mozzarella was not toasty at all, not even a little bit toasty. So I turned our oven to broil, and I broiled this for just a few minutes. And if you're going to do that, you really have to watch it carefully.
It'll go from nothing to burnt.
Yes, but that is how it looks. This used a lot more tomato sauce than I normally would, but that's okay because we like the tomato sauce anyway. So this says...
I want to cut mine and let it start cooling off a little bit.
Oh, go ahead. It says the prep time's 45 minutes, and that's probably very fair, the prep time. Because by the time you cut up the chicken and you have to boil that pasta and all that, it probably does take that long. Bake time is 40 minutes. 12 servings is how much you're supposed to get out of there. It says when chicken Parmesan meets stuffed shells, it's love at first bite. The texture of the chicken holds up in the deliciously creamy, cheesy sauce. This is from Cindy, C-Y-N-D-Y. I've never seen Cindy spelled that way. Cindy Gherkin in Naples, Florida. And so I can say right away that normally when I make stuffed shells, I believe I only normally use a jar, and then I'll split half the jar on the bottom and then half, or actually I only do like a third on the bottom, and then I'll do the rest on the top. This has you use more, so it is runnier. Just know that. You're
gonna have a lot of sauce in the bottom.
A lot of sauce in the bottom, yeah. Which we like the sauce, and normally, like I said, we get more sauce. So this might be perfect.
I like the filling. It's nice. It's very cheesy. Like, not like cheddar cheesy. It's more of a Italian cheesy.
I was going to say, it's definitely not cheddar.
Yeah. It's like, you know, the Parmesan and the ricotta.
Like and mozzarella. I've got a big hunk of chicken here. Have you got any chicken?
Oh, yeah.
Is it nice and hot?
Yeah. I like that. This kind of is like it's kind of like a chicken lasagna almost.
Yes.
The flavors are very similar to the lasagna because that ricotta really, what makes a lasagna is the ricotta. This has got a lot of ricotta in it, so it kind of reminds you of that texture of a lasagna. It's really nice.
I like it. Couple things that I did differently from the recipe. Next time I truly wouldn't use 2 jars of that.
No.
I would use 1 jar. So I will make a note in here that it just needs 1 jar of spaghetti sauce. The one thing that I did differently is they have you using 2 additional tablespoons of olive oil after you boil your pasta. You boil it and then you drain the water off. They want you to pour 2 tablespoons of olive oil on the pasta.
And kind of like toss it.
And yeah, to kind of get it slick, because I think they're afraid it's going to stick. I have never had any issue with these sticking. Now, some of them tear, some of them do that, but I mean, you have plenty anyway. It's not like you're missing any. So I did not add the 2 additional tablespoons of olive oil because it was just completely unnecessary. Also, the recipe called for fresh Italian parsley, and I used parsley flakes. So I knew I've done that before. Some people, I'm sure, would poo-poo that idea, but I don't care. If you want to use fresh parsley, go ahead. I use the flakes. But
you know what's really nice?
I do like this.
Have you got a piece of that Parmesan?
The
mozzarella, I mean that fresh?
Not yet.
Oh, you gotta get a bite of it. Even just the cheese. Just
Okay.
pull off a piece of cheese and eat it.
It's right here. I'll get it. You like the fresh mozzarella, huh?
It's different than like the shredded mozzarella.
Oh, it has a lot more flavor.
It has a ton more flavor and the texture is different too. It's got more of a chew to it. Whereas shredded cheddar, shredded mozzarella just kind of, it's there and it's like.
It reminds me of when we get the Bessie's Revenge Scrim Sicilian pizza.
Slices of pizza.
They use the big hunks of mozzarella cheese on those Bessie's Revenge pizzas. That's what we like
exactly
about
what it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's really good. I like it. I'm surprised it doesn't have any onions in it. Not that it necessarily needs onions, but
no, but I think I will add a little bit of salt and pepper to it.
Yeah, I mean that's a personal thing.
Personal preference. I'm going to add a little bit of salt and pepper to the top, but you wouldn't have to have it at all. But I do think this is a hearty meal. If you have a big family of 4, family of 6 even, you could make a pan of this, and if you did some garlic bread, some of that Texas toast, that
you had a really big salad. You could add salad.
You could, yeah, you could. And this is going to be enough for everybody. This is going to feed a lot of people.
Oh yeah, it's very hearty.
Yes. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and thanks for watching.